Hey, this is going to be super awkward for the first a minute, so bear with me. I feel weird introducing myself because those who follow me on my social medias are my family and friends, so they already know me. But hey, I'm Kate. I've battled with starting this channel, support group, whatever, for probably a good 4 months, just being in Canada, in Ontario, in our third lockdown. You kind of run out of stuff to do, so you kind of figure out what you're passionate about, what your hobbies are, and for me, it's really channeling my condition. It's finding Reddit subgroups that help, other support groups that help, and I wanted to make something personal to me, something that if any of my family or friends are struggling with this as well, that they have somewhere they can turn to. If for some reason people in the world happen to stumble upon this, great, awesome, probably never going to happen, but hey, we're here. I apologize in advance. Jesse and I just moved into a new build. We're super grateful, super thankful. Air conditioning is being installed today, so if you hear any weird random noises, it's just the air conditioning being installed, so yay, air conditioning. Okay, so what I'm here to talk to you about is rosacea. If people who don't know what rosacea is, I'm going to give you a brief definition on what rosacea is. Here we go. So, rosacea is a common skin condition that causes redness and visible blood vessels in your face. It may also produce small, red, pus-filled bumps. These signs and symptoms may flare up for weeks to months and then go away for a while. So, before I started my journey and before my diagnosis, I actually experienced rosacea, not through myself, but through my older sister and my best friend. So Alyssa, if you're watching this, I just want to let you know that I apologize for younger Kate not really hearing you, not really listening to you when you were going through your worst battle with rosacea. I want you to know that I love you and I'm very, very sorry. So rosacea wasn't something that was new to me because my sister had her battle with it as well and is still having her battle with it. So my family is Scandinavian. My grandfather came from Denmark when he was 20 something. So, blonde hair, blue eyes, super fair skin. Thought it was great until I hit 23, and then I really didn't like myself, didn't like my skin, and I'm gonna tell you why. So in the summer of 2019 is where things all kind of started to snowball. So in that time, Jesse and I, it had been a year since we moved to Ottawa. We were visiting my parents a lot who camp out on the lake. And we were there pretty much every summer in the sun, doing summer activities, playing outside, being outside. At nighttime there, you drink alcohol, and you drink alcohol during the day. I don't think I was drinking more than I usually would or did, but maybe. So a combination of all those things, I started noticing that my face was super red all the time. It had these bumps. I had acne when I was in grade 9, grade 8, but it wasn't cystic acne. It was just little bumps on my forehead. So I was like, what is happening? And then it started getting worse. It started burning. It felt like a sunburn, felt like a 2nd-degree burn. I was like, what is going on? If I can find pictures or videos that I took of that time, I will insert them here. Once I figure that out, Jesse might have to help me. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, so we don't know how this is going to go. But pretend there's photos here of when it all first started. So it kind of was happening all summer. I was wearing sunscreen. If anybody doesn't know, my fiance Jesse is a redhead. His skin is also very fair, very sensitive to the sun, so he was always on me as well to wear sunscreen. So we were reapplying sunscreen all the time. So I was like, okay, there's no way I'm getting sunburned. I'm putting sunscreen on at one point I think every 45 minutes because that's how bad my face hurt. I was wearing a hat, everything. So fast forward to, I think it was the first few weeks of September, I was like, this is enough. I need to see a doctor. I need to maybe see a dermatologist at the time. I was like, it's getting to the point where I don't want to do things. I look at myself in the mirror and I have to look away. It was bad. So I booked in with a dermatologist, got diagnosed with rosacea. At the time, my rosacea was so bad that I went on 2 rounds of a very strong antibiotic because there's 2 types of rosacea. There's chronic and acute. At the time, it was acute rosacea, so it was actually an like acute infection in my skin. It had gotten that bad, so I was on 2 rounds of antibiotic. I tried, I think, 2 night creams at the time that were also antibiotic to kind of help with the redness. So before I get into all of that, I just wanted to say that if you are struggling with any kind of skin condition, whether it's on your face, your legs, your arms, whatever, don't be ashamed of it. It's who you are. It's a part of who you are. And people around you love you no matter what. So I know it's easy to say don't get self-conscious. Also a perk of rosacea. If you are feeling any type of emotion, if you are sad, if you are nervous, if you are anxious, if you just feel stressed, if you have any kind of human emotion that is not joy, it will show on your face. So I have no makeup on right now. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what it's like. I wanted to see if I was talking, if it would flare up. It just did. So it doesn't burn right now, but anyways, this is what rosacea is. So I just want you to let you know that you are beautiful, you are loved. Don't ever let that stop you from living your life. Throughout this whole thing, I'm going to be talking about going into further detail of what rosacea is. Is it curable? Can you live with it? How is it living with it? What is the struggle like? I kind of touched briefly on what the beginning process was with my dermatologist. I will go into further detail with that. I will talk about what skincare products I have found trial and error that work best for me. I'll talk about triggers. So there are certain triggers that can trigger your rosacea, that can make it worse, that can cause an acute flare up, or just like I read in the definition, it can last up to months of a chronic flare up. And just basically what works for me, diet-wise, talking about self-confidence, and just basically overall trying to help anybody who has been through this, knows anybody who's been through this. It's common in people more that are fair skin. I've read females, it can sometimes more than likely it'll pop up in your 20s. Your menstrual cycle can make it worse. It's just something that you live with on a daily basis, and because it is on your face, thank God for this pandemic, because like you can wear a mask, which I know a lot of people not super happy about, but with a girl with rosacea, I mean, you cover up to here. I can feel a certain type of way, and people don't like look at me like, are you sunburnt? Don't even get me started on that one. But yeah, basically this is something that's totally going out of my comfort zone. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I don't even know if I'm going to share this with with people in my world. People who are super close to me know kind of a little bit of it. I definitely am not shy at talking about it. Some of my closest friends in my family have, heard me rant. They've seen my flare-ups. They've heard about my process with it. So I just thought that if I could extend that to people who may be struggling a little bit more with it and are kind of sitting in silence like I was, because I didn't really know how to go about it other than obviously seeing a doctor and listening to the doctor. But it's hard. It's hard to find a routine that works good for you, finding out what your triggers are, dealing with it and living with it, working with it, having a social event with it. Like my wedding is September, and for the past 2 summers, because I go through the whole summer, and for me, my biggest trigger is heat and the sun. So having my wedding at the end of summer is a little nerve-wracking for me, but I'm going to do the best that I can to manage it so that I can feel and look beautiful on my wedding day. So if you liked this, if you thought this was helpful, if you are curious about wanting to know more, if you know someone who is struggling with rosacea and you want to reach out to them and show them this video so that they have somewhere to turn to, someone who is a plain Jane girl who's just kind of wanting to share with the world that, maybe help some people. I don't know how often I will be posting or talking about it. I am a dental hygienist. I do work full time. It is a global pandemic, but like I said, in Ontario, we are in our third lockdown, so I have a lot of time on the weekends. So I thought, why not start this? Why not see where this goes and hopefully touch someone that is struggling with the same thing or is just curious about it. So that's all for right now. I will talk to you a little bit later. Thanks.